Hello, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Hot here in Pennsylvania. Well, it's 87 now. The sun's finally going down, but before it was hot, but it is summer, so I'm not complaining. But that's why you heard the fan there going loud, the AC, because I was hot. Whew, it was hot. But anyway, I wanted to come out and talk about change. Sometimes people are afraid of change. Sometimes people are forced to have to change their situation, not themselves, but their situation. Whether it be you break up with your boyfriend or husband, or vice versa. You know, you break up with your wife, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be. And you don't seem to move on for a long time, some people. I see them being, and please don't do this to yourself. Don't do what I did in the past. You know, don't do it. Because for quite some time, you know, I spent my life like that. You know, pretty single. You know, thought the world was coming to an end. Didn't really have anything. Didn't have a, let's be for real, I didn't have a pot to piss in, you know. For God's sake, we were talking 20 years ago, but I didn't have my crap together. I was living in my car, you know. I was just being dumb, thinking that the world owed me something. Thinking that everything that was going on in my life, the bad things, was all somebody else's fault all the time. And then I sit back and think about it, and really, a lot of it was my fault. For the way I was thinking that it was everybody else's fault, so if I could just keep blaming it on somebody else, you know, my life failures on somebody else, when here it was my fault. You know, of course, everybody has bad breaks, and you know, somebody might cheat on you, hurt you, break your feelings. A recent, or you know, a death that's unexpected, or a death period, might you know, put a hurting on you, as far as, you know, being depressed and things like that. But for the most part, if you don't like the situation or the way you are, you have to change yourself, and you have no choice. You really have to change yourself, or you have no choice. Sorry for the pause. I was watching the road up here. There was a deer crossing, so I was really focusing on the road and making sure that I didn't hit the deer, which I didn't. I left them cross, but that was the reason for the pause. So I just don't want people to make the same mistake. Maybe I'm getting off track here. Make the same mistake as I did, and blame everybody for my problems. And just, of course, there wasn't Facebook back then, but then you would just complain to people's faces. Always complain about your money problems, complain about your money situations, complain about your living arrangements, complain about what this person did to you or what that person did to you. You know what? Move on from it. There's other people out there, better people. I'm telling you, don't sit around for years and years and years and just mope and get in that groove where people are like, oh, I'm in just the same Groundhog week, you know, instead of Groundhog Day, the same week every week. Well, a lot of us are. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you cook, you clean, the wife does, you know, and the yard work that I do, and of course I will pitch in with house duties. Probably should do it more than I should lately. But the whole story is, don't spend your life miserable, because you don't have a second chance at it after you know, pass away. I mean, unless you believe in the reincarnation or things like that. When it's over, it's over. So you don't want to waste so many years on figuring out what you did wrong. What could you have done better? What could you have done different? What could you have done that would have changed your position in life where you are now? What could you have done? You know what? It doesn't matter what you could have done. You can't go back and do it. So you really don't have a choice but to move on from whatever situation it may be. Take it on the chin and get back out there. And don't give up. Because I said this a million times, you control how you think. You really do. If you want to think negative, if you're thinking negative all the time about everything, you want to feel negative about everything all the time. Because you just keep doing it. I know people who do it for years and years and years, and they're still the same. And I'm not trying to knock on people for being so negative, but I see it making a negative impact in their lives. So that's when it's a problem. It basically comes down to simple math. Are you a glass half full or glass half empty type of person? It's very simple. And you can change that. You can change your way of thinking. You definitely can. I did. And I'm not saying that I don't have days when I'm, in a bad mood or believe me, I'm not no cheery person 24 hours a day, but it don't happen overnight. When you want to, transform yourself into a better human being and do better things and just be a better person and not be so miserable and nasty and negative and bring everybody else around you down. If you don't want to be that way, you don't have to be. You could be a little bit outgoing, but like I said, it don't happen overnight. So you can't be a positive thinker and then plus totally change your life around all at the same time. It's an effect. Positive thinking will bring you positive things. Negative thinking is just going to bring you negative things, and it's a proven fact. Everybody has bad breaks. I talk to some people. I used to be that person. A quarter of my life was bad breaks. Some of my life was bad breaks. But a lot of it, I created myself. And I refused to accept it. And for the longest time, I refused to forgive myself for the things I've done in the past, the time I've wasted, the money I've wasted, at bars, drinking, whatever the case might have been, I beat myself up for it for so long, until just recently, and I still struggle with it. I beat myself up over my past and the stupid things that mistakes that I've made in my life. But believe me, I paid for them. I paid for those mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. When they say what comes around goes around 3 times over, 6, 7 times over, I'm telling you, the way you are to people and the things that you do will come back on you, good or bad. If you do bad things will come upon you eventually. If you do good things will come upon you eventually. Nothing happens overnight. But I just wanted to come out and, it's been a while since I've done a video, and I do get some messages here and there by a couple people, asking me why I haven't done any videos lately, and I just get wrapped up and work. But I've started to learn to appreciate the things that I have, like my job and car and house and the phone and the phone holder that the phone is in on the dashboard, and just the small things in life, the birds and the squirrels and it's just I'm just starting to appreciate things. And you can't change your life if you don't appreciate yourself. You can't appreciate other people if you don't appreciate yourself. So that I'm learning to forgive myself for the dumbass things that I've done and the bad mistakes that I made in my life. It's a lot easier moving forward to being a positive and just being a better person, not just basically not being an a-hole, I don't want to be an a-hole. It's nothing to brag about. Oh, don't screw with me, man. I could be an asshole. I could be an asshole. Then be an asshole. Be an asshole. Congratulations. But I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. So, if you don't want to be in your situation that you're in now, if you don't want to, if you're not happy what you're doing, whatever the case may be, the only way out is for you to change it. And for you to change it is for you to get up and make changes. I'm not saying that always to leave your spouse or leave your boyfriend or just run away from your problems, but tackle them one by one. And eventually, you can not be so angry and miserable, beat yourself up every day, negative. Just think a little positive, guys. Everybody has something to live for out there. Love everybody. Peace. Have a good night. If you listen to the end of the video, thank you, and see you another day.